When we first get married, we do so with such high hopes for the future.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, of course, yes.
We think of it as the ultimate expression of our love, believing it will be for life. So why then is it that these heartfelt dreams, full of such promise, end so often in bitterness and divorce? Those vows we made, so stale and meaningless.
If you didn't want this kind of life, then you shouldn't have married a musician.
Okay, yeah, fine.
How do you start a successful marriage? Or put one back together once it starts to fall apart? A couple getting married or doing something they know very little about. Even if it's not their first time, they rarely feel like they know more about it the second time around than they did the first. So, what goes into making a successful marriage? Well, to begin with, it would be good to define what a marriage really is and start from there. No matter what the culture, religion, or arrangement the marriage is made up of, a marriage is, at its core, a postulated relationship. By postulate, we mean a decision that something is or will be a certain way.
I promise to love
and to honor you.
and to honor you.
In other words, a marriage is something that the two of you created together.
So cute.
And for it to be successful, the two of you have to continue to create it.
We need him for when we have a little one.
You got it.
The problems begin when people stop postulating their marriage. In other words, they stop creating it. You see, some people think a marriage will be held together through no effort of their own.
Mona, can't you see I'm trying to watch the game?
It won't. When people stop postulating a marriage, it ceases to exist. But what causes people to grow apart or to stop being in good communication with each other?
Fine. That's what you want.
Well, in Scientology, it was discovered that there is a basic reason behind broken relationships and failed marriages. You see, whenever people get together and form a group, they make certain agreements.
Wow, look at those watches.
Whether these agreements are spoken about or not.
Can we go in and just have a look?
But there's no point, it's really expensive.
These agreements are about what is right and wrong,
Quite nice.
what is good or bad, how the group should or shouldn't function.
What's this, $400 on Tuesday? Things are tight, don't you understand?
Just one time.
One time? Look at this. Does that look like one time?
Oh my god.
These are the morals of the group,
It won't happen again, okay?
and as such, they assist in its smooth running and harmony. The problems begin when a person then breaks those agreements.
I'm gonna buy all this.
That's great.
Thank you. Can I try this on? Wow, it's beautiful.
I think it's stunning.
I think I'm gonna buy it.
In Scientology, this is called an overt act.
Thank you.
An overt is either something that you did that you shouldn't have done, or something you didn't do that you should have done, according to a moral code.
If you didn't want this kind of life, then you shouldn't have married a musician.
Another way of putting it is that an overt is that thing which you have done to another
Is that your wife calling?
that you wouldn't want to have done to you.
No,
You guys were great tonight. When are you playing again?
later on this month.
Why don't you give me a call?
Now, when a person commits an overt against someone, they often feel they can't tell them about it for fear of the consequences.
Hey, babe. How was work? Good show?
Fine.
So, they withhold it. A withhold is an overt act that a person has committed that he or she isn't talking about. But by withholding the overt, you fall out of communication with the person you've harmed to some degree. It is this mechanism that causes couples to grow apart.
Hey, honey.
I'm late for rehearsal.
It's at the very root of divorce. You see, when a person has built up enough overts and withholds against his spouse, He wants to restrain himself from hurting them any further. So, he leaves. Before now, there was little a couple could do as they drifted apart, unable to repair the damage and fix their relationship. But no matter how strained, a marriage can be put back together again. Scientology contains several tools which will enable you to do precisely that. Tools that provide relief from past overts and withholds and restore the communication within your relationship. Tools to alleviate the emotional trauma caused by a fight with your spouse. There are even tools that can help you to choose the right person in the first place. Marriages can be cleaned up, and a husband and wife using good, honest communication between them can continue to create a happy, fulfilling relationship. If both people work at keeping their agreements according to their moral codes and keeping their communication free and open between them, their marriage will grow stronger and stronger. Love is real. It can last. And it is possible to transform your marriage into the dream you cherished when you first pledged to build your lives together.
So what are we having?
Take a look.
You found it?
Yeah.
You are unbelievable.
For these tools are the keys to a happy, stable marriage.